What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Figure It Out. Ooh, I love it. Love the way that sounds.
That was good.
Harmony. So, on today's show, we're counting down the top 10 worst Black Series figures. Now, this is a list and a video that we've been wanting to make for a long time.
A long time.
Finally, it's here. I'm your host, Bad Movie Buck. Joining me,
Justin, what's up, everyone?
and also joining me,
My name is Nate.
his name's Nate. So what do you say we dive right in? At number 10, Farm Boy Luke. And that, I guess that includes both the 40th anniversary and the regular version because they're the same. So
Well,
you have real beef. You guys have real beef with this
The
figure.
40th anniversary has slightly better paint apps.
Okay.
Yeah,
But what I will
the face
say,
isn't as bad.
what I will say about this figure is, it's not necessarily horrible, but his tunic is so fucking big. He looks like he's wearing a big bed sheet
Yeah,
for his
Agreed.
tunic, and they really made a weird choice to make the plastic on his face very
glossy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of like
Yeah.
how Obi-Wan, the Revenge of the Sith Obi-Wan looks. Like,
Yeah.
so it doesn't really look like he has skin. He just looks like a weird action figure.
Yep. He looks like almost like a faceless person from Game of Thrones, just like with makeup on.
Yeah.
I would throw another figure just into that Luke category of Leia. Was pretty bad too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just the face sculpt and the over exaggerated sheet.
Yeah, clearly. Well, yeah, because obviously she got a re-release with an entirely different head sculpt.
Yeah.
But
But if you want to have your New Hope, or as we like to call it, Star Wars 1977 diorama, I would recommend using the Stormtrooper disguise Han and Luke.
good figures.
Yeah.
And I mean, Leia, you're just gonna have to settle for that one. But
Well, the re-release is good.
yeah, I don't have that one,
Right.
so I'm not gonna shell out $40 for two of the same figure.
We're not double dippers here.
Nah.
Well, you could always sell one.
True.
But no one wants
But-
the old inferior.
But one
Yeah,
thing that is
that's
good about
true.
them, they do have double jointed elbows. Luke
Yep.
does have double jointed elbows.
So he can properly hold his lightsaber.
No ball accessory like the.
Yeah. Yeah, that's...
Come on now.
Nothing. Just a lightsaber and his binocs.
Or how about, that helmet he was using to train?
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I can't see with the blast shield down.
so that was number 10. Moving on to number 9, a Shelf Clogger Supreme and a Target exclusive. You know you've seen it.
Ugh.
It's at every single Target, and that is the ACT pilot from Rogue One.
I think it's AT-ACT. All-terrain armored cargo transport.
It's something. It's
Pilot.
something.
Who cares?
It doesn't matter.
There's a
Just like that whole movie.
There's a back shot. There's one shot of them in the movie, and it's from the inside of the AT-ACT, but it's showing it doesn't show the front. So how do you really know that those are different paint apps than just a regular?
Right. And really, it's
a third repaint of the same figure.
Yeah, the figure is not.
That's the biggest crime.
Yeah,
I think.
it's not bad because obviously the mold is pretty good, but the fact that it's the third repaint of the same fucking figure within a 6-month
Because you got
span.
the Scarif Commander,
Yep.
and then you have the Scarif Grunt, which those two are fine because they're actually in the movie.
And technically, the hover tank pilot only has a different head sculpt, still the same body sculpt.
So yeah, it's just
It's
shitty repaint.
they milked that shit so
Yep,
quickly.
It's barely in the movie, and I'm glad nobody's buying it because
But
we see them all the time.
But Target refuses to clearance them out because it's their exclusive.
Yep.
So it's stuck clogging the shelves, and then none of our Targets in our area restock Black Series figures because of that.
Of course.
Yep. Moving on to number 8, Lord Sidious.
Okay, the face sculpt is good.
Yeah.
I'm satisfied with the face sculpt of the Emperor, but like you said earlier, he can't sit.
Yeah.
He comes with his cane that he uses in one scene in Return of the Jedi.
But it's too short,
Yeah.
and he's actually standing up, so he's just holding the
It's
cane.
hover. The cane is just hovering above the ground.
Yeah, and then also his robe is just way too big.
And they put Yoda, for the Yoda Black Series, they did the prequel and the Empire Strikes Back in one.
Yeah.
So you got the cane and the snake and the necklace thing from Empire Strikes Back, and you also have his lightsaber from the prequels. Why couldn't the Emperor get his red lightsaber, or maybe some Force lightning to connect to the hands?
Yeah,
that would have easily made the figure 100 times better. But only a cane. The only accessory is his cane
and the hood, and how it just goes way out here. It's up here, and it's just
it's way too big. Like they tried. It's almost like they tried with that, but then they nailed it later with Obi-Wan, where it rests properly.
Which, I mean, they are it was a pretty early figure in the line, so it's their mistake. It's kind of something that is ahead in our list.
Right.
That's something that they might have had to redo.
Yeah.
With that said, with the lightsaber, I think a cool Black Series idea would be the Palpatine with his lightsaber and his red Sith robes and stuff. I think that would be...
from Revenge of the Sith?
Right. Yeah, I think that would be very cool. Now on to number 7. We have regular Darth Vader from the blue stripe, right?
Yeah. Removable helmet, sad puppy dog eye Vader.
Yes.
Not this Vader. This Vader is perfect.
Yeah. 3 different Vaders in the Black Series.
We got shitty puppy dog eyes, then we got
shitty, useless Emperor's Wrath.
And then we finally got
and then perfect. We have a Masterpiece figure.
Then we have a Masterpiece figure right there.
Yep.
But it should be said that with the removable helmet, if you pose him with just Anakin's face, it's really good. The head sculpt on Anakin is really good. And I love the scar detail and how you can feel it.
But the fact that they chose to... It's obvious that they chose to focus on that other than focus on making the helmet look decent as well.
His most iconic
look
is just Darth Vader full suit.
Yeah, it's just it's too it's flat. It's not as defined as his helmet normally is. The eyes are too big.
It just looks like it's melting.
Yeah.
The helmet's just melting.
And it's really just it's a bad figure, and now with the new Vader, completely useless.
Yeah. And again, you said they focused on the head sculpt, which is good.
Mm-hmm.
So if they put so much emphasis into that, why wouldn't they give him a detachable hand and have him be able to sit down, or at least kneel without his knees looking so crazy like they do? Doesn't make any sense to me. And if they would have done that, it'd probably be a solid figure.
Yeah.
So moving on to number 6. Another Darth Vader that we just mentioned, Walgreens exclusive, Emperor's Wrath.
Pointless.
Yeah.
Very pointless.
Really, it's not a terrible figure. It's just incredibly pointless because the Emperor's... the scene they're referencing is literally 3 seconds long. Just a quick lightning bolt through, and they chose to make an entire figure out of that.
And they gave him the detachable hand with the wires.
Which that is cool. The detachable hands and the exposed wires when you detach the hand. But then, if you want to put him in a diorama, which is the only way he would look good.
Yeah.
Because a vanilla pose or just having him on the shelf would just be stupid. Why does Darth Vader have a purple head?
It'd be a perfect opportunity if the Emperor came with Force lightning. You could have him... I mean, come on. It's
I
a
have
no-brainer.
him on my shelf. I try to do, not dioramas where I have set pieces, but just, little cheap dioramas. I have Luke standing over him and his hand is gone. That's pretty much the only way you can pose him, is just having him laying down with his arm.
And especially with so many still to this day, so many Star Wars characters don't have Black Series figures at all. It's really annoying that they would give us something so pointless over, say, a Dengar. Anyways.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree, and I think the same can be said about Marvel Legends.
There are
a lot of stupid figures.
There are plenty of Black Series figures that should be made, and if you want to know which ones we think should be made, go in the description below, and we'll have a link there for our top 10 Black Series wish list.
Shake my hand for that plug.
Shameless.
It's a good list,
right.
I think.
We all approve of the list.
Yes, because we made it. So we are entering the final 5 on the list, and boy, are we starting with a banger. Something that I regrettably paid full price for.
Oh yeah, me too. We both same day.
It was I had a premonition of the future, and I somehow.
Well, you didn't have money.
Yeah, I didn't have money, but I'm gonna mark it up as saying that I had a premonition.
All right.
Because in the long run, I didn't buy it at all.
And you're smarter for
Yes.
not buying it.
I agree.
I was so blinded by the hype of Rogue One. We purchased this before it came out, that there's no way I could have saw it coming, because I was convinced Rogue One was going to be a masterpiece.
I mean, we all thought it was going to be.
Yeah. So the figure we're referring to is the Kmart exclusive Jyn Erso Edu.
She comes with a base.
Yeah, and it comes with a little grenade or something.
I think it's her baton.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Which, for me, this is such a colossal disappointment. Not only because I thought Rogue One was good. It was an enjoyable Star Wars movie, but Jyn is just not really a good character. I just liked it for the final battle scene.
There's characters in that movie?
No. But Jyn is not a good character, and the Kmart exclusive Rey and Kylo Ren came with awesome bases that were like translucent, icy white and blue mixed, and they connected
And this
for the epic battle because they actually fight each other in the movie. And this one just comes with a fucking dirt pile.
a big piece of poop is what it really looks like.
Well, that's a great way to describe the film in general. But you got to think that there was going to be a Cassian.
Well, yeah, because this looks like it's the same base as the Starkiller base, like at least the bottom piece. It looks like it connects in or was going to connect into something else, but clearly, as most people know, Kmart is officially no more. So presumably they canceled the other piece to this figure.
Yeah.
And also the Edu scene is only like 10 minutes of the movie.
It's a very small part of the movie, too.
That they chose to focus
Like,
so hard.
It would have been so much better if they did like a Scarif, like
Yeah.
a beach tropical
Honestly.
kind of environment. It would have been sick.
Yeah, that would have been awesome.
But they choose a giant pile of dirt.
Yep.
Well, apparently they changed that whole scene around, because as we saw in some of the footage, there's regular stormtroopers walking in the tropical waters, and it was just different. I think it was
The characters were straight up on the beach.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Like Cassian and Jyn.
yeah, running away with the plans.
Yeah.
But,
Not transmitting them.
right. So moving on to number 4, also a Disney Star Wars character, completely pointless, I think, and worthless. It's a bad figure, bad
He's
design.
in one shot of the movie.
One shot of the movie.
Or
and-
this type of character is in one shot of the
Yeah.
movie.
And we are referring to, of course, to the Resistance Trooper. I don't own this figure. I can't say much about it. He looks like an astronaut of some kind.
Yeah. I'm going to put that picture right now. And what I want you to do, audience, is just look at that figure and tell me if you think it comes from a Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't.
It's just
it does, but it doesn't look like a Star Wars character.
It's a very uninspired design. It's
Yeah.
very generic. It seems like they were just kind of like, okay, we have to have some sort of soldier type character.
Yeah, it looks like from a sci-fi movie.
Yeah.
Like a B-movie sci-fi movie.
Also, his gun is just straight up silver, no paint
Yeah.
apps on it, even though it's pretty much the same gun that Poe comes with. Or I'm sorry, not Poe, Finn. And Finn's has brown paint on it and silver paint. So they just got lazy and were like, we're not going to paint the gun for this guy.
Yep.
So
But I bought them.
Yeah.
I if you guys don't know, I do have every figure on this list except for the AC or AT-ACT pilot, because I refuse to buy that one for obvious reasons. But I like to get all the numbers that are on the red boxes, and it was on sale. I did not pay full price for it. So
I've said before that my goal is to own every red and black series figure, but I don't know. There's just so much schlock.
yeah,
in this
and you guys
series.
have seen me purchase some schlock recently.
yeah.
Yeah.
But for a pretty good price.
Yeah.
But we'll get there.
That, I mean, the same could be said for the AT-ACT pilot. I feel like we'd all buy him if he was like $5, you know?
Yeah.
Totally.
But
Because
full-
like
if I
the
could get
mold
it
is
way
good.
below
it's good
retail.
posability too.
Yeah.
I would buy all of these
Full
all
price?
below retail.
Fuck that.
No. Moving on.
Top 3.
Ooh, it's getting down to the wire. Top 3 from Return of the Jedi. This
sad.
such an injustice, because it's such an iconic character costume. Slave Leia. Ooh.
Terrible.
Obviously, the biggest thing, the likeness is okay, but the
Yeah.
biggest negative about this figure is that she's not a human being.
She's,
It's not a 6-inch scale human being. She's so small.
She's way smaller than any other character. She doesn't scale with anyone. It like I was telling you earlier, it almost seems like she was a mold from a different set of Star Wars figures, and then
Yeah.
they were just like, Oh, let's just use this one.
Like, because I showed you before we filmed this, like, I put the Vader right next to her, and it's literally like...
Yeah. She looks like a 5 or a 4-inch scale figure.
Yeah.
Really, she's tiny. And her joints just look ugly because obviously she's not wearing a lot of clothing, so you get to see her ugly knee joints.
Yeah. And when you bend them, it's just like, what the
the thigh swivel, it just all looks very unappealing. It's not a good figure.
Yeah, the only
and
good
no
thing,
accessories. I don't believe it can have any accessories.
No accessories. The only thing that you said that can be said in a positive light in this figure is the face, the likeness is pretty good.
However, I will say I'm glad to own all of these, just for completionist reasons. But this one specifically, I'm glad to own it because I recently got the Jabba. And when you have her laying next to the Jabba, right on his belly, it looks fine.
Yeah.
It doesn't look so out of scale until you put her next to another 6-inch Black Series figure.
And then you're like, ooh.
Yeah.
Okay, top 2. Number 2. Ooh, yeah.
One of the worst.
Poe.
Go ahead.
Poe Dameron Ding Dong.
The X-Wing pilot, not the 2-pack.
X-Wing pilot.
Because 2-pack is good.
Yeah, 2-pack's not bad.
But this one, boys, I paid full price for this one. Because I saw Force Awakens and I immediately went to the Walmart and bought like any of the Force Awakens figures I could find.
He looks like Al Pacino in what is the name of that Adam Sandler movie? You gotta have my Don Pacino.
Yeah, Jack and Jill.
Yeah,
right? Was that it?
He looks like Al Pacino and Jack and Jill.
I think he looks like Sylvester Stallone. Like, hey, I'm Poe Dameron, man. Man.
Obviously, a notoriously bad figure. The face just looks.
The eyes are literally one eye's going this way, one eye's going that way.
It almost looks as bad as the faces on some of the Elite series.
Yeah,
like statue figures. Those are so bad.
And just to talk about how bad the paint was on that figure. If you guys are fans of Toy Galaxy out there,
shout out.
His Poe Dameron straight up had a unibrow because the paint apps were applied so poorly to the figure, and a lot of them were like that. You either were getting crazy eyebrow Poe or you were getting cross-eyed Poe.
Yeah,
I don't think
we got a cross-eyed Poe.
I don't think I've ever seen an X-Wing pilot Poe with just decent paint apps on his face. Always something messed up.
Even with his helmet on, it makes it look a little better, but
it's a little better.
Not too much.
The Atsy is way better.
Yeah.
For Force Awakens, X-Wing pilot figures, Atsy is way better, but he's barely in the movie too, and he doesn't really deserve his own. But I bought him for full price too.
But the helmet is just a little too big. I feel like when you put it on Poe's head, so he kind of looks goofy.
Kind of like the Vader, how it's too big.
Yeah.
Because to fit the head.
Right.
Yeah.
So, not a good figure.
Well, with that all said, you boys ready for number 1?
This next one is just stupid.
Yep.
Oh, you know what's coming, baby. Constable Zuvio. Oh, bless him.
Good figure. I think it's a good figure, but it's a spit in the face because this specific Constable Zuvio from the Force Awakens line is not a Star Wars character in canon or Legends.
Yep.
It's just a random alien from not even a movie. It's just a random thing that doesn't exist. It's not a Star Wars character.
And we'll probably never be able to see his scenes either, unfortunately.
The scenes that he's in are probably scrapped. They said it was going to be in the deleted scenes, wasn't in the deleted scenes. They said it might be in the deleted scenes of the Collector's Edition, not in the deleted scenes of the Collector's Edition.
Nope.
You gotta wonder what his purpose was. It's just like seeing how the movie plays out, and I know there's critics of the movie, obviously, but it seems like everything's in place. Everything works out pretty well.
I'm sure he had a very minor role.
Yeah, probably like in Jakku.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So even at that point, it's still offensive that, again, such a minor character would get a figure over, say, Dengar.
Or, Mace Windu.
Yes.
Now, there are other characters in the Star Wars universe that look like Constable Zuvio, like in the Darth Maul comic that you said, but that took place in a different era. Therefore, this specific Constable Zuvio does not exist in any way, shape, or form. Not in the movie, not in a comic, not in a book, probably not even in a Wikipedia page.
Nope. No Kit Fisto. No Coyote Mundi. No Shock T.
If you're curious, I bought this one for $2.50. Meyer was having a This specific one, number 9 in the Black Series, it was on sale for $9.99, and I was still like, too much, bro.
Yeah.
So I waited almost a whole year. It was still just sitting there on the clearance shelf, and it finally went to $4.99, and I was like, well, it's time, boys. And I went and I scanned it, and it was like, take an additional 50% off. So it was $2.49.
Hell yeah.
Because Meyer was doing that thing where all clearanced items in the toy department were 50% more off.
Yeah.
So I was like,
Well, at that point, you know.
$2.50 I'd buy.
Irresponsible not to.
Yeah. I'd buy any Black Series figure for $2.50. Let's be real.
And you were mentioning the Jedi Masters, the various Jedi Masters from the prequel era. Here's a free one for you, Hasbro. Jedi Council with the Jedi and the chairs in the circle room.
And then it would be
Take
like
it.
$500.
Yeah.
And it would be a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive.
Well, even if they made the... you don't have to make the whole room, obviously, just like the circle area with that design on the bottom, the chairs. They could make it cheap as hell just to keep the price point down. That's fine.
Like what they did with the Greedo Han 2-pack, the Cantina Showdown, where it was the diorama was made out of cardboard.
Yeah. Maybe not cardboard, but, you know, the cheap
And even
plastic.
if they did make that exclusive and it was a $500, they would at least have the molds.
Yeah.
So they can just print them in single boxes like Kiadi-Mundi, Kit Fisto, Plo Koon,
Yeah.
They could do it like
Luminara
this.
Unduli,
They can make it cheap enough to the point where you can erect it like that
Shock T,
and then get the figures elsewhere. I think that would be
Ayla
awesome.
Sakura. So many good Jedi they could be making figures.
Ezra doesn't even have a figure, guys. Ezra.
But all these do. And, well, some of them, obviously, you can see why they made these figures, like, you know, Emperor or
Poe.
whatever. But, I mean, come on. Zuvio.
Yep.
Resistance Trooper. Oh, I lose sleep over this
Me too.
sometimes, knowing that the Jedi Masters are done such an even more injustice than they were done in the actual movies. But with that being said, that was our top 10 worst Black Series figures. I'm Bad Movie Buck.
Justin, see you guys later.
I'm Nate. Make sure you let us know what you think are your worst Black Series figures. Also, don't forget to hit that like button if you agree with this list. Subscribe if you're new. Because we always talk about action figures, comic books, movies, collectibles in general.
Blu-rays and bullshit.
Blu-rays and bullshit.
Basically. Yep. That's our demographic. Thank you for watching.